You're a parasite. Don't humiliate me with your tacky preferences, Clara hissed under her breath. My sister sneered at the $32,000 engagement bash I'd bankrolled, and I vowed to tear it all down in a hot dog costume, canceling her honeymoon and revealing her deceit to her fiancé. Don't you dare disgrace us with your vulgar choices, Clara snapped, her manicured nails biting into my skin. Her smile remained impeccable as she faced the photographer, her radiant features glowing beneath the chandelier's sparkle. I stood frozen, surrounded by glittering gowns and tailored tuxedos. I shouldn't have been surprised. This was her engagement party, a $32,000 spectacle of hollow opulence funded by the cash I'd quietly funneled to her over the past year. Vulgar, Clara? I paid for this, I tried to say, but her grip tightened and her smile turned colder. Keep quiet, she whispered venomously. I don't care what you've spent. Just stay out of sight, smile when prompted, and don't speak. Her fiancé, Lucas, stood nearby, chuckling with his buddies, oblivious. My parents lingered by the bar, Mom's boisterous laugh ringing out while Dad's hand rested on her shoulder, beaming with pride for Clara, never for me. Smile, the photographer instructed. Clara released my arm like I was filth, turning back with a dazzling false giggle, as if all was perfect. I stared, humiliation knotting in my chest. I should have walked away, but I stayed. Hey, you okay? A voice asked beside me. It was Simon, one of Lucas's friends, holding a flute of champagne. Your sister's quite the star, huh? I managed a faint smile. You have no idea. Simon laughed, clearly unaware, but his eyes held a hint of pity. They all saw it. I was the overlooked one, the enabler, the one who paid, stayed silent, and never protested. Until now. I slipped away, weaving through the glitz and grandeur, down the hotel's marble corridors. My hands trembled as I typed on my phone, a scheme forming faster than I could process. An hour later, I flung open the ballroom doors. The room went quiet. I strode in, dressed as a massive hot dog, complete with a foam bun, a red sausage suit, and a squiggle of fake mustard across the front. Laughter erupted, some shocked, others uneasy. Clara's smile vanished, her eyes widened, her hand flying to her mouth. My parents stood petrified. Lucas hovered between amusement and mortification. Everyone, I boomed, my voice echoing, a toast to the couple. To Clara, who showed me family isn't about loyalty. It's about appearances. And to Lucas, who's about to learn that pretty flowers can hide sharp thorns. Clara's shriek sliced through the air, her face crimson with fury. Get out! You're destroying everything. I'm just following your advice, Clara, I said, bowing theatrically in the foam costume, avoiding your shame with my low-rent taste. Then I turned and left, the laughter, murmurs, and gasps trailing me. Her perfect evening lay in ruins, but I wasn't finished. As dawn broke, my apartment glowed with first light. My phone buzzed with 42 missed calls from Clara, then Mom, then Dad. I watched them pile up but didn't answer. Instead, I made my first call. Hello, Windward Resorts, I said smoothly, a smirk forming. I need to cancel a honeymoon reservation under Clara Carter. No, it won't be rescheduled. The second call was simpler. Her credit card, locked. Then I opened the file I'd saved for weeks. Screenshots, messages, her cruel jabs about Lucas, mocking his family, boasting about using him to climb higher. I sent them to Lucas. 2 hours later, Clara called again, her voice raw, trembling. How could you? Please answer. I'll do anything. Talk to me. I didn't respond. I let the silence speak, sipping coffee as the city woke in golden light. For the first time in years, I felt not just rage, not just vengeance, but freedom. The sun climbed, bathing my small apartment in warmth, and I felt unburdened. My phone kept buzzing. 42 missed calls from Clara, dozens more from Mom and Dad. I ignored them, letting them stew while I savored my calm, coffee in hand. But the calm didn't last. By afternoon, someone pounded on my door. I opened it to find my mother, her face ashen, eyes swollen from tears. She didn't greet me. You're destroying your sister, she said, her voice quaking with fear and anger. I'm just setting things straight, I replied, my tone flat. She's your sister, she snapped, her hands trembling. You've always had everything handed to you, but Clara? Everything handed to me? I laughed bitterly. She drained me for years, my money, my time, my support, and you cheered her on. Now that I'm saying no, I'm the bad guy? Clara's suffering. Lucas is devastated. You've wrecked her life. She wrecked it herself, I shot back. She lied to him, to all of you, and you swallowed it because it's always Clara. Mom's voice cracked. You've always been heartless. I stood up for you, defended you. I stepped closer, fury flaring. You watched her bleed my accounts dry, lie to my face, treat me like a cash machine. And now she faces consequences, and I'm to blame? Tears filled her eyes. She didn't mean it. She's just lost. No, she knew exactly what she was doing, and you enabled her. Her hand struck my face, sharp and sudden. The sting was brief, but the pain in my heart cut deeper. For a moment, we stood still. I saw regret in her eyes, then sorrow. I shouldn't have come, she whispered, turning away. I shut the door. The sting faded, but the fire inside burned on. I stood there, heart racing, breath heavy. I wasn't done yet. That night, I slipped into the hotel where Clara and Lucas were staying. Mom's frantic call earlier had given me their location. I rode the elevator to the third floor, the hallway silent, my steps muffled on the carpet. I neared their room and heard Clara's voice, sharp but subdued. I don't care what he says, Lucas, she said quickly. He's envious. He's always tried to ruin me. I warned you about him. Lucas's voice was low. Why would he cancel our honeymoon? Those messages, I saw them. You believe that? Clara's laugh was forced. He fabricated them, Lucas. He's fixated on me. He can't stand seeing me happy. You have to trust me. He's unhinged. He needs help. I leaned closer, jaw clenched, listening. I don't know, Clara, Lucas said, too calm. That's his game, she snapped. He plays the victim, always has, and now he's turning you against me. I heard Lucas pacing. Maybe I need time to think, he muttered. I need space. No, she cried, her voice rising in panic. Lucas, please don't leave. I can't lose you because of him. Silence followed, then footsteps. I slipped around the corner as Lucas exited, heading for the elevator. I stayed put. My anger wasn't just hot anymore. It was resolute. She was still weaving lies, still painting me as the enemy, but I was done with her script. I pulled out my phone, started recording, and waited. 30 minutes later, her voice came again, this time on a call. He's trying to ruin everything, she snapped. But I'm not scared. Lucas isn't dumb. I can handle him. My parents, they'll always back me. They never choose him. A pause, then her tone turned syrupy, venomous. You don't get it, do you? My brother's a nobody. I know how to make him look crazy. I've done it before. It's just trickier now that he's fighting back. My hands gripped the phone, shaking with rage. She hadn't just lied to Lucas. She'd orchestrated this, setting traps for months. But now, I had evidence. I stayed hidden, heart pounding so loud it nearly drowned her out. Then, as if fate intervened, the door creaked open. Clara stepped out, still on her phone. Yeah, I'll call later. I need to fix this mess first. She didn't see me until I was right behind her. Clara, I said softly. She whirled around, her face paling. What are you doing here? Eavesdropping, I replied, holding up my phone, the recording still running. You learn a lot when you stay silent. Her face hardened, the facade crumbling. You don't know what you're doing. I do now, I said. And it's finished. I walked away, her rage burning behind me like a wildfire, but I wasn't done. I drove to my parents' house. The lights glowed warmly inside. I approached and peered through the window. There they were, Mom and Dad at the table, Clara poised perfectly, no tears, no guilt, just that polished smile. Her voice drifted out, venom cloaked in charm. He's having another tantrum, she said, cutting her steak. I feel sorry for him, but we can't let him keep ruining things. Dad shook his head, his tone heavy with feigned sorrow. I always knew he'd end up like this. Trouble from the start. Mom nodded, her tired, pitying smile fixed. I knew it too. We just have to stand by you, Clara. He'll come around. I stepped back into the shadows. They'd picked their side long ago. I wasn't their son anymore. I was the enemy. But I was done lurking in the dark. By the lake, sunlight danced on the water. Under an old oak, a picnic table was set with a red and white checkered cloth, plates arranged like a staged memory. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, apple pie, my childhood repackaged as a truce. I stood watching. Clara, dressed in white, smiled broadly, her eyes sharp as blades. Mom fussed over the table with forced cheer. Dad stood, arms crossed, impatience etched into his face. Lucas sat quietly, staring at his shoes, looking like he wanted to vanish. Clara waved. There you are. Don't just stand there. Join us. I approached slowly, the grass softening my steps. Everything smelled sweet, but it was a deception, like everything else here. Things got heated, Clara started, her voice dripping with fake warmth. But we're family. This is our apology, a new beginning. Family, Dad muttered, avoiding my gaze. Family means loyalty, not betrayal. I didn't respond. I glanced at Lucas. His eyes flicked to Clara, then down. He didn't seem convinced anymore. "Sit," Mom urged, pushing a plate toward me. "All your favorites." We thought it might help. I sat, but didn't touch the food. Clara's voice softened, playing the victim. "I know you're upset. The engagement, the pressure, it got out of control. I didn't mean it. Out of control," I echoed, my voice icy. Interesting choice of words. She laughed, too shrill to be real. "Don't make this a scene. We're trying to mend things." I leaned forward, eyes locked on hers. Or get a confession. Her smile wavered. Her gaze darted to Dad, who jumped in predictably. "Enough," he barked. "You're ruining everything again. This was your chance to fix things. Me?" I laughed. "Of course, I'm the villain. Clarabella's the angel. I'm the chaos." "Because you are," he snapped, slamming his hand on the table. "You shamed your sister. Humiliated us all. Everyone's talking." "I know," I said calmly, pulling out my phone. "Especially Clara." Her eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "I've been listening," I said. "And now the truth has a voice." I tapped the screen, and her voice cut through the quiet field. "Lucas isn't bright. I can control him. My parents will never pick him over me. They always shield me." The words echoed, cold and sharp. Lucas's head snapped up, his face ashen. "Clara, what is that?" he asked, his voice breaking. "It's fake. He's trying to ruin me," she screamed, lunging at me. I stepped back, holding the phone out of reach. "Really? Let's hear more." I played another clip. "My brother's a failure. Making him seem unstable? I've done it before." The words struck like a blow. Clara's eyes bulged, her mouth twitching. "Turn it off!" Dad roared, face red with rage. "This is lies! Stop it!" "Lies?" I asked coolly. "Fine. Try this." I swiped and played another. "I told you, Lucas, he's obsessed. He's deranged. He needs help." The recording rang out, clear and damning. Lucas stood, fists clenched. "You said he tried to sabotage us, that he threatened you." "He did!" she shrieked, her voice cracking. "He's twisting it! I swear, it's not what it sounds like." I reached into my bag and tossed a labeled folder onto the table. "Go ahead, read. Texts, screenshots, what she really thinks of you and your family." Lucas's hands shook as he flipped through, his face draining. "Clara, you called my mother worthless, said you wished she'd vanish." Her mouth opened, then closed. "It was a joke. I didn't mean it." "You meant every word," I said coldly. I tapped the screen again. "If my brother won't shut up, I'll make everyone think he's insane. I'll cry if I have to. Mom believes anything I say." Clara's world began to collapse. "Liar!" she screamed, wild and flushed. "You faked it all!" "Did I?" I stepped closer, voice low and deadly. "Should we call your old friends? Maybe your ex, Emma, the one you bragged about stealing from?" Her lips trembled. "You wouldn't. I already did." I dropped another folder in front of her. Sworn statement from Emma. She confirmed you took her phone, sent messages to her boyfriend. And there's more. "Want to keep going?" "Stop!" Mom sobbed, tears streaming. "You're destroying this family." "No!" I said, voice like ice. "I'm making you face the truth. You're perfect Clara, the liar, the schemer, and you've picked her over me every time because you can't handle that I see through you." Dad stood, shaking with fury. "She's better than you. Always has been." I laughed bitterly. "Better at what? Lying to you? Stealing from you? Pretending to care?" Lucas pushed the folder away, his face shattered. "I can't believe I—" "You're a monster, Clara." He tore off the engagement ring and threw it at her feet. "We're done! Lucas, no!" Clara screamed, lunging for him, but he stepped back, voice empty. "Don't come near me! You're poison!" Clara turned to me, her face twisted with hatred. "This is your fault! You ruined everything!" I stepped back as she lashed out, her rage desperate and raw. "No," I said softly. "I just showed who you are." Dad grabbed her, pulling her away. "Get out," he growled at me. "Haven't you done enough damage?" I smiled calmly, grabbing a slice of pie and wrapping it in a napkin. "This is all I'm taking. The rest was never mine." I walked away, their shouts fading as I reached the field's edge. I saw Lucas by his car, staring at the lake, his face a mix of betrayal and confusion. "Why?" he asked, barely audible. "Why do this?" I met his gaze, a weight lifting. "Because silence would have been a lie, and I'm done being their puppet." I got into my car. As I drove off, the wind carried away the fragments of a family built on deceit, and for the first time, I felt free. The next morning, just as I thought it was over, my phone rang at 7 a.m. The name on the screen stopped me, Grandma. Her voice was firm, unwavering. "Sweetheart, I know everything. Your parents are calling you the monster." "I don't care anymore," I said, exhausted. "I'm just glad it's done." It's not done, she snapped. Not until they repay every cent they took. Grandma, I didn't do this for money. I wanted the leeching to stop, and it won't stop unless you make them pay, she said. I'm coming over. An hour later, she stormed into my kitchen. A force in pearls, her sharp eyes scanning the room. Show me, she demanded. Every dollar you spent on them. I opened my banking app and laid it bare. The numbers told the tale. Clara's wedding, $18,500. Dad's unpaid loans, $9,000. Ongoing support, over $25,000. Her lips tightened. Disgraceful. They drained you. But this stops today. That afternoon, Grandma called a meeting at her house. When I arrived, they were there. Clara, pale and jittery. Mom, twisting her hands. Dad, pacing like a trapped animal. He stopped, glaring at me. I said nothing, sitting beside Grandma, her presence dominating. I've seen the accounts, she began, voice cold, and I'm appalled. You've treated him like a bank. That ends now. Please, Clara cut in, voice syrupy. He's exaggerating. Enough, Grandma snapped, her tone cutting. If you don't repay him fully, I'll rewrite my will. You'll get nothing. Mom's face went white. You can't mean that. I do. I won't leave a penny to anyone who exploits family. Tears welled in Clara's eyes. Grandma, I didn't... You did. You lied, manipulated, and now you face the consequences. Dad crossed his arms, snarling. This is a family matter. He's trying to split us. I met his glare. No, I'm making you see what you've always ignored. You did this, not me. Enough! Grandma barked. One choice, return what you took or lose everything. Dad stormed to his study, Mom scrambling after. Clara sat frozen, staring at the table. 30 minutes later, Dad returned, checkbook in hand, fingers shaking. He slapped the check down. Here, take it. I looked him in the eye. I didn't break this family. You did, Clara whispered, voice cracking. Grandma, please. I'm teaching you what accountability feels like, Grandma said flatly. I took the check, folded it, and stood. I'm done here. I walked out, Grandma a silent pillar behind me. That night, I sat by my window sipping tea as city lights twinkled. For the first time in years, I wasn't weighed by guilt, shame, or duty. My phone buzzed, a message from Grandma. Proud of you. Never look back. Love, Grandma. A faint smile crossed my lips. It was over. The manipulation, the control, the endless giving. I didn't do this for revenge. I did it for freedom. As dawn's first light spread across the rooftops, I was finally free. So, what are your thoughts on this story? Do you agree with what happened, or do you see it differently? Let us know your opinion in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming stories. See you in the next one.